So now in this video, we're going to use the 2N3904 right here. And if the transistor is a bipolar junction transistor, which the 2N3904 is, it's an NPN type transistor. When you're looking at the flat side, the left pin number 1 is the emitter, pin number 2 is the base, and then pin number 3, the pin on the right, is the collector. I find that to be true with all the transistors I have that are bipolar junction transistors and start with 2N. And now moving along, we have this Zener diode here, and we are going to wire the transistor as a constant current source. So it's going to provide a current based on the resistance here and the voltage that we set. And the Zener diode will hold a voltage pretty steadily. So we have the power supply here set to 12 volts, and the Zener diode is reverse bias. You can see we have here a 1 kilo ohm resistor. This is also a 1 kilo ohm resistor, and the Zener diode. The cathode is towards the positive side of this circuit fragment here, and then the anode is towards the negative side. So it's reverse bias. It's set in the direction where it does not conduct as easily, but it does start conducting at a certain voltage. So we're going to look at that voltage right now, and there you can see it's 8 volts, even though at the rail we have 12 volts. And we can change that voltage. So it was 8 volts. Let's put this to let's go to 10, and we'll see that we have pretty much exactly the same voltage right there. So we can keep working with 10, and so there you can see we have 8 volts right there. This is actually an 8.2 volt Zener diode, but it looks like it's a little shy, at least with the current we're putting through it right now. So I just did a video on Zeners, and so I'll try to remember to link that in the description if you want to learn more about them. But the main thing is, using a Zener diode, we can get a set voltage at this point here, and we're going to put that to the base of the transistor. And so in a recent video, I made this circuit with a trim pot, and we could adjust the voltage. We got a fraction of the power source voltage, but in any case, I'm going to connect this here. Right now we have a certain amount of current, probably 8 milliamps of current going through this jumper here. So this is a 1 kilo ohm resistor. You can see we still got 10 volts at the rail. First we're going to look at the voltage across this resistor here, because this is what actually sets the current. So it's the voltage across it, and there you can see we are actually about a diode short of the 8 volts that this trim pot wants to give it. So there you can see it's about 0.7 volts lower than what we set there. That's because there is a diode drop there. We can easily compensate for that by moving this Zener diode down 1 row right there. So now there's a gap between the resistor, the jumper there, and the Zener diode. We're going to forward bias. So we just want that 0.7 volts that this rectifier diode builds up. Well, it is forward biased. There we go. And now if we measure the voltage at this point there, where the resistor connects to the rectifier diode, there you can see we have a diode voltage higher, a forward voltage of about 0.6. And now we're going to have pretty close to about 8 volts across here, and it's pretty close. So we probably have about 7.9 milliamps of current because it's a 1 kilo ohm resistor. So to measure that, we can yank this jumper there and set the meter to measure milliamps. And luckily with this meter, the red probe stays where it is for everything except for high current. We're not going to measure high current, so that won't be an issue. Now, see if I can get a good way to measure this. I have to go to the positive side of the power supply and then to the collector of the transistor, and there you can see we have the 7.9 milliamps of current. So that's flowing through the meter, through the transistor and through the resistor. So we can change the load. So the meter was basically a short circuit, just like the wire for the most part. So we're going to take an LED. Now the load has changed, and normally when you add resistance or voltage drop, you get less current, but there you can see the current is holding steady. And we can take another LED right there, and I don't think this is going to hold steady terribly long because we're not dealing with much voltage. So there you can see there's a lot less current. This LED is just naturally brighter. It's passing the same amount of current. So I lowered the power supply voltage to only a couple volts higher than the voltage we are asking. So let's go up to 14 volts right there. Now we should have the same current that we did before. So let's go here, and connecting the red jumper to the positive rail, and the current will go through the meter and then through the two LEDs, and there you can see 8 milliamps of current. We're dealing with more voltage, so it's going to go up a little bit, but there you can see I go right to the collector, 8.5. I go to one of the LEDs, pretty much 8.05 again. I meant to say 8.05, not 8.5, and again about 8.05 across 3 of them, and I can even add a third LED in series right there. The main thing is, as long as you have enough power supply voltage, you will keep getting a steady current as you add LEDs. And I don't know why that one didn't light. Okay, it wasn't in the board all the way, I don't think. Oh, I lost contact with the resistor. There you go. You can see it's holding steady even as we change the load. So that's the constant current source. And this Zener diode, you saw we changed the voltage. The Zener diode, a little more current was going through this resistor, so it raised the Zener voltage a little bit. And we also have the rectifier diode to add about 0.6 volts too, because we have about a 0.6 volt drop from base to emitter. But in any case, with a little more current going through, it blocks a tiny bit more voltage. But for the most part, the voltage holds really steady with the Zener diode and the forward bias rectifier diode. Remember, Zener diode has to be reverse biased to get that Zener voltage. If you forward bias it, it has about the 0.7 volt drop of a rectifier diode. And so to get the Zener voltage, you have to reverse bias it. But in any case, you could see we had that constant current source where it was steady. So it's the voltage built up across this resistor divided by its resistance. So 1 kilo ohm makes it very easy. If you know the voltage that's going to be across it, and you do have to have current flowing through the collector for that voltage to build up. Otherwise, it's going to drop the voltage down. So we will look at that. We looked at it with current going through. That's why I had the jumper. In fact, I'll do that again really quick. Put the jumper to the positive rail, and the LED should have lit up. I don't know what is wrong. Oh, the power supply turned off. I short-circuited something probably. So there we go. And it did it again. So I'm not sure where there is a short circuit, but this shuts off automatically when it senses a short circuit. Alright, I found the source of the short circuit. Now you can see the power is on. It was actually this jumper. It came loose and it touched the positive rail right there. It shut off. So that's one thing about this. If it just keeps shutting off, you can be sure that there's a short circuit. I do have current limited to only 20 milliamps also, but in any case, this is not an ideal setup. There we go. It'd be better to put it there and then to plug this one out of the way as well. Let's plug it over there. So, in any case, moving on. We will get this circuit running again. And there you can see the LEDs are on. In person, this middle one looks less bright, but that's just because I probably abused it at some point. It doesn't emit as much light, but it doesn't look like that's causing a problem in this video. So, we're going to get this off of measuring milliamps. You should do that as soon as you're done measuring milliamps. So I'm a little distracted making this video. I don't think about that as much. But you don't want to, like if I measure the voltage now at the rail, there you can see the 13.95. If I don't have something limiting the current like I do here, that will put the current through the meter. If it's set to measure milliamps of current, maybe amps of current will go through there and blow a fuse or cause other damage. But in any case, we're going to look at the voltage across this resistor. There you can see it's the 8.06, and that's why we had the 8 milliamps of current, because it's a 1 kilo ohm resistor. Lower value resistor will result in more current. Higher value resistor will result in less current for a given voltage. So now I pluck that. We don't have the current going through here. We just have what this can provide, and since we got a 1 kilo ohm resistor there, a diode drop, and also if the voltage goes up, it'll go through the Zener. But in any case, there you can see we just have a fraction of the voltage, and since we have the Zener there, it's actually higher than when I had the trim pot, but it's pulling the voltage down. You need that current going from collector to emitter to get that buildup of voltage across there. So you can't just measure the voltage across it without a load. You do need that load to get the actual voltage right there. So now we do see the voltage that is across it, and since it's a 1 kilo ohm resistor, we will know that we will get 8 milliamps of current because it had 8 volts across it. So we'll go right there and over there. So 8 milliamps. So in any case, hopefully that all made sense. Covered a lot of ground in this video. Really quickly, I did related videos recently. I did not add the rectifier diode though, but if you have a Zener diode, you need about 0.6 volts more. You can just put just a regular rectifier diode in series with it. That will build up another 0.6 volts. So you can just put semiconductors in series to add up their voltage drops, and if you need a certain voltage at a certain point in a circuit. And so again, I have the meter set to milliamps. Make sure to turn it off, and I'm going to end the video there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.